Chandogya Upanishad start with a story. Svetaketu is the son of the sage Uttalaka, and this student Svetaketu is very well read and finely educated. He was so confident about his knowledge that he used to parade his learning and caliber in the midst of all learned people and have discussions, a great educational gift. This boy went by chance to the court of the king called Prabhahana Jivali, a noble emperor. The moment the boy arrived at the court, the king receives him with all the offerings, makes him comfortable. He's a Brahmin boy, well versed in the Vedas, branches of learning. So the king asked him few questions. First, he asked Svetaketu, are you well educated? Have you studied? Is your education complete? Has your father instructed you? The boy said, yes. My education is over. I am very well read. Then the king asked him some few questions. Naturally, you are a well informed person, so as to be able to answer any question. You are very proficient in the Vedas, any branch of learning. So I am asking you some few questions, so please answer me. Boy says, yes. King starts asking, do you know, Svetaketu, where people go after they depart from this world? And people die, where do they go? Do you know the answer for this question, my dear boy? The boy said, I do not know. I cannot answer this question. Then king asked another question. Do you know where from people come when they are reborn in this world? The boy said, I do not know this also. Do you know, have you got any idea of the two paths the soul ascends when the soul goes? One is the Archirati, other one is the Dhumati. It's always also called as Devayana and Pritriyana. Do you know these two paths, the difference between these two paths? Svetaketu says, I do not know this also. Then the fourth question comes up. What is that this yonder world is not filled with people and overflowing? Always the world is able to contain people and it is never flooded with them. What is the reason for this? This also I do not know. Now the fifth question. Do you know what are the 5 obligations? Obligations means ahuti, meditation, ahuti, that are offered, and how the 5th obligation, as liquid, it becomes human being. Just the 5th obligation becomes a human being, the liquid becomes a human being. I do not know. These two I do not know. Then the king asked Svetaketu, why did you say that you are instructed and well educated, well read? How is it possible that one regard oneself as properly educated if one cannot answer these questions? What made you to think that you are educated? What is that your father taught you? If he has not told you these things, what is the purpose of your education? The boy was really humbled. His pride vanished. He began to realize that there are things which he really could not understand. His education was not complete. This was the first time that he was taken aback from the conviction that he knew everything. Though the king asked him to stay in the palace, he runs away. He goes to his father and asks him, how is that you told me that I have been instructed and well educated? I have been well informed, every branch of learning. I could not answer any of the questions of the king. He said, what is that? He asked for all the 5 questions. He asked his father, do you know answer for this? Gautama, Uttalaga. He says, even I do not know. Let both of us go to the king and ask him the answers. Son says, no, I am not coming. Enough is enough for me. If you want, you just go. So Uttalaga goes to the king and asks him. Immediately the king says, what is that you want? Any dhan you want? Any money you want? He says, I don't want anything. I want wisdom, the knowledge. Please give me those answers for those 5 questions. The king Jivali asked him to wait. Be here for some more time, I will tell you. Internally, he has got a conflict. Because he is a Kshatriya king and the sage is a Brahman. It's a customary in ancient days that Kshatriyas will not take a Brahmin as a people, whereas Brahmin can take Kshatriya as their people. So he internally there's a conflict. Can I do this? And a year passes, and finally, when Uttalaga insists that he wants the answers, Jivali, the Kshatriya king, gives him the Panchagani Vidya. This Panchagani Vidya talks about our birth, our death, and the paths. It is a part of Chandogya Upanishad.